What's up? We did it.
Well, we did it. We did it. We're still doing it. Episode 7. Here we go.
Welcome to the No Homo podcast.
We've really ironed out all the kinks. We're coming in super smooth. Our opening is flawless. The No Homo podcast with Jonathan and Tom. I'm Jonathan.
I'm Tom. We are recording this on Friday, August 1st. Do you want to tell us why we're recording this?
Yeah, because we're going on vacations, because we got trips, because we got summer plans.
We got trips.
We got trips to take. We got magic
People
to
to
do.
see,
We got
magic
people
to
to
do.
see. We'll be out in a boot. We'll be traveling. We'll be at beaches and at parties and different places.
I think our trips are going to be a little different.
A little different, probably. Yeah, a little bit different. I'm sure we will have time to talk later about how different our trips are.
Yeah, I think so.
But maybe you'll find some fans along the way that need servicing.
Wow. Wow. So we're going to be recording the next couple episodes out of order. So we'll let you guys, not out of order, but out of normal recording
out of time. It will,
time.
And I, for those who tune in for the timely hot takes of current events, sorry, we're not going to be as on top of the current events. So, stick around for some Just Like That and some vulnerabros and some people who want to fight. That's what you can be here for.
That's right. Speaking of and Just Like That, I want to check in with you immediately to see how you're handling today's news.
Oh,
because hot off the presses today.
Yeah, it's tough. I don't know how to handle it. It's like, well, why don't you fill everyone in? Why don't you go ahead for anyone here?
Yes, and Just Like That, Michael Patrick King has announced on social media and press releases, I guess, that this will be the last and final season. The season we're in.
Both last and final. It'll be the last and final season.
This is it. And that they originally intended 10 episodes, but recorded 2 secret episodes.
Now they've split it into, and maybe the dates still line up with what they've always had announced, and maybe they got canceled, and this is like this, but also, absolutely. If we can make up Stepfathers 3 seasons in, we can also make up the plan for how we were going to do this. I'm all for it. All for it.
Are you sad though? I'm sad.
Yeah, I am sad. It feels weird. I'm sad that it's not going to be around anymore. That we don't have a next season to look forward to.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get Sister Rosie O'Donnell's spinoff though. That's what I want next.
That would be amazing. and for all the haters that hate this section, just bear with us a couple more episodes. We have to talk about, so the episode we're talking about is, and Just Like That, episode 10, it aired last night.
Yeah.
I thought it was one of the most bonkers pieces of writing.
I can't tell you I felt so good to be back. We had a couple of weeks where it almost felt like a real TV show, and thank God we are back to Looney Town.
Like what? So many disparate plot lines that had nothing to do. There was a loose hamster.
Kind of. There was talk about a loose hamster.
Did they find it?
I don't know. It's like Chekhov's hamster. I think they did find it. Of course they found it. Nothing fucking happens.
Where was it?
I don't know. It was going to be a big deal, and then they found it. But here's what I was most happy about, that early on, like maybe right away, maybe the first scene right away, Steve was back. I'm so glad. So glad that Steve was back. And Steve was batting 1,000. He was taking all of his shots. And he knew he had one scene this season. And boy, oh boy.
Yeah.
Loved it. Went from 0 to abusive father in 3 seconds. It was incredible.
Yeah, I was like, between the hamster, I don't know, what was Charlotte's storyline with that?
I guess that's the extent of the vertigo, right? Like it's nothing. Like it's like she's gonna get it fixed because she has an. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know either.
It took 3 tries to get her Zoom to work with this psychic, and then it all got better. I guess I don't know.
I don't know. She's an executive producer on the show. What did she think when she read that script? I would have been like, what? Mia, the pregnant farting Mia. Gross.
This is another one of those examples of like, it takes a hot button topic, all right, like young pregnancy, unwanted pregnancy. We almost touch on abortion. We get real close, and then all we end up with is pregnant farts, just fart jokes. That's all we get from that. And like, who's the bad guy in that scene? Because Miranda is way out of line, just going in there like that, way out of line. And then Mia is a fucking kook who just like sprays it with water and talks weird shit. Like who are we supposed to be rooting for in that scene?
I don't know.
The farts. That's who we're supposed to be rooting for in that scene.
For the hot gardener. I'm still rooting for him.
The hot gardener.
His apartment, though.
His mommy issues.
Oh my God. Yeah, I also I meant to ask you what happened to remember they had a friend, she was like a professor.
Yeah, what happened to her? She became a cautionary tale to everyone. You fuck around, you will get written right off this show.
Did they say goodbye to her? Where did
They
she
did
go?
nothing.
No.
She just went away. She's just gone. That was it. We never heard from her again. LTW was coming real close to that. Like the last couple of episodes, I was thinking like, is Charlotte going that way too? They can't write off Charlotte. She's getting one scene an episode. This time she got 3 30-second scenes.
I don't know. Next week, I want to hear how you think it's all going to wrap up.
Okay. We'll do predictions. Predictions. Okay, great. Because I like the doors are open. Take a pick. Like just, I say the bigger, bolder, the better.
Well, okay. So we've been watching. I don't know if I told you. We are in this house. Big, fast. We just started watching a couple weeks ago. Big fans of the Gilded Age.
Oh,
we just caught up last night. So they're in season 3 right now. I think there's like 1 or 2 more episodes.
Okay,
and we're fully caught up. So we will be watching in real time. Dude, it is good. It's such good television. Yes.
Yeah? Okay.
It's really good. We're addicted.
Well, tell me like what's, I mean, don't spoil too much, but tell me what's good.
You saw Downton Abbey at all?
Yeah.
Same creator, same idea. It takes place in America about 30, 40 years before Downton Abbey. So like during the Gilded Age.
Yeah.
Wait,
slow down. Hold on.
And it's like the new money in New York versus the old money in New York. You don't want the new money there. And it's just delicious. It's so good. It's chock full of theater actors. You've got Audra McDonald, you've got Kelly O'Hara, you've got
Patrick Page.
Yes, the girl from Peter and the Starcatcher.
I'm not going to get that.
I forget her name. The Scarlet Pimpernel guy. You've got.
Keep doing it like this though. This is really good. Yeah. That one from that one thing. And
Felicia Rashad, Brian Stokes Mitchell.
Felicia Rashad. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes. There's one scene. And there was one scene the other day where I told Naquan, like, you have no idea how many Tonys are on that screen right now.
Yeah, that's cool.
So that's pretty fun. Yeah, and everybody's great in it, and it's. I just think it's really well done. And
Cynthia's in that too, right? Isn't she?
Cynthia is in that.
Yeah,
yes. Okay. So it's like double Cynthia action right now.
Wait, I just want to go back for 1 second. 1 second. After the scene with Brady and Steve and her at the table, she finished it with the best acting button ever of just pushing the dinner plate away.
Yeah.
It was the best button to a scene. I'm glad that she's carrying over to the other show that you're watching. Just Steve is yelling and fist, and then she just...
I mean, she's a pro. She's a fucking pro. What were they you know what drove me nuts is when they did that like 1960s telephone thing with the girls with the screen.
Oh god, yeah.
She did their 3-way call. What drove me nuts is this Sex and the City has never done that. That is not in the vocabulary of the show. You cannot introduce new cinematic vocabulary.
Hey, first of all, watch your fucking mouth. They can do literally whatever they want. They have made that clear. They can do whatever they want. It doesn't have to be tethered to reality or proper storytelling.
You're fine with it. You approve.
I almost jumped ahead and started making predictions. I have a wish. Can I make a wish that's not a prediction?
Yeah.
I wish, and it won't happen, but I wish that Che would make an appearance, would make a cameo.
I know, bro, but no.
I know they are fully gone, but
they're gone. Yeah.
But I wish. Anyway, so you're watching the Gilded Age. What else is going on with you?
The Gilded Age, and then we saw Fantastic Four this week, which we
loved.
How is it? It's good. Yeah. It's the first Marvel movie in a while that we were really excited about.
It feels like Marvel and DC right now have gone in this kind of like vintagey thing. Is that true? Like Superman has this kind of like older vintagey feel. It looks like Fantastic Four, or like a.
Yeah. They're both embracing. Both movies embrace color more. Both movies embrace what the original comics looked like.
Yeah, I think that's
we had so long with dark superhero movies. I
think
they're just trying to turn the page on that.
Yeah,
but it's great. The performances are great. Vanessa Kirby is fantastic in it. Yeah, it's really good. It was a good movie.
Are you keeping up at all with Pedro? With like what's like?
Do I keep up with Pedro? Yes, bro.
Why is the zeitgeist turning on him? It feels like a little bit. I mean, maybe not big time, but like there's little. Like people are starting to have problems with some of the things that he does, and this is not me saying I have problems with any of it. I'm just noticing that people. I feel like, his anxiety, and he likes to touch to ground out, and there's been a couple of whisperings that like that's more of an excuse to touch women, and there's like
he's gay.
Yeah. I mean, there's all of it. I don't think there's any kind of reality to any of it. I think that what's happening is a a good person has spent as long as they can at the top of the zeitgeist, and now it's time to bring them down.
Yeah, it happened with Taylor Swift too.
Yeah, exactly. It happens with. It doesn't happen with men all the time because men aren't used to that good. But you take something pure and good, and you take a woman, or you take someone like Pedro, and they can only spend so long at the top before they have to get knocked down a peg.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, you could spend all the time at the top.
I thought that I was more of a power bottom, but I appreciate that.
Well, but it's like, I just want to know, like, how are you looking the way you're looking today? Because you signed on, and there's like a twinkle, there's like a little gruffness with the facial hair, and I was excited.
Well, I'll tell you, I have a little bit of a twinkle because we're going out tonight. I'm looking forward to that, man.
Tonight. Yep.
We've got a party, and we'll be talking about that, I'm sure, soon. But I'm excited to get out with you and party with you. I also have a little twinkle, maybe because I just found out that a film I shot that I was a part of that I shot last fall in New Orleans, got accepted into the Toronto International Film Festival.
Oh shit!
So I don't think I'm invited to any of this stuff. It was a small part, but it's cool that it's going. The film, give it a quick shout out if you don't mind. Charlie Harper, directed by Tom Dean and Mac Eldridge. It was a really cool thing to shoot in New Orleans for a few days. I did some work with Amelia Jones. It was cool. I all I'll say is I play a chef, and it was a lot of fun. I think we're kind of in like a kitchen renaissance right now, and we have been for a while. I think Bourdain started it over a decade ago, and we're like the bear is carrying that torch, and so this is kind of like it's not a kitchen.
Were you? Like, tell me about how did you?
I was a very hard nosed, temperamental kind of chef. It was like really high standards and flipped out sometimes. Like good, Amelia Jones is a chef. She becomes a chef, and so I'm kind of in some flashbacks of the story. The story does some cool stuff jumping around.
Kind of a chip on your block kind of thing.
Chip on my shoulder. Chip on my block.
Is it chip on your shoulder?
I got a big chip on my block. Yeah. Yeah, that kind of like high standard, hot tempered chef where the food's good, the restaurant is pristine, but also things can flip out in the kitchen sometimes.
I can see it.
It was good. And it brought up a thing that I haven't thought about in a long time, but our dear friend, Christine O'Grady, gave me as an actor the best acting note I've ever gotten for me personally.
Contextualize who Christine is.
Christine O'Grady is a director, choreographer, performance extraordinaire. She is, what's she doing right now? She's professor she's everywhere, but she's at
Penn State.
But yeah, she's phenomenal. We worked with her a bunch, and she was the associate choreographer of Hair on Broadway 15 years ago, and I was in for it, and I was auditioning, and I was at the dance call, and she gave this big long speech about how the moves are less important, that it's not about being graceful. Hair is about a bunch of teens being rebellious and rebelling, and we were doing like the be-in as the dance, and so it's like she kept being like, here are the moves, but guys, this is all about testosterone. This is about being angry. This is about protesting and fighting against the Vietnam War, and I was like, I got fucking this all day long. Let's go. And I did the audition, felt fucking great about it. And then afterwards, she said that the casting director like literally pointed me out and was like, what's wrong with this guy? Is he okay? And it was so heartbreaking to hear, but she said the most beneficial note that I've, other than all the notes you've ever given me as a performer. She said the next most beneficial note I've ever gotten, which was anytime a director says be angry or be aggressive, Jonathan, you think 85% of that. Don't think go all the way. Think 85%. And that came up in this. There was during the callback, there was like some scenes where the chef is flipping out. And I was flipping out, and the guys were like, cool, that's really good. Can we maybe like pull back on that a little bit and see what that's like?
You didn't remember the note.
No, I did. That was still 85%.
Oh, shit.
But that's, that was with a few more years under my belt. And but I think the anger had increased, so the percentage had to come down further.
Oh, you have to recalibrate, basically.
Yeah, I had not recalibrated. That was the problem. But all that is to say, at the Toronto International Film Festival in a month or two, Charlie Harper. And I'm not sure where it's going to be after that, but I will be sure to hawk it on here and let you know.
Congrats, man. I was hoping like your Brant's Boys video was coming out. No, just joking. That's
So I don't know what
for the
that
gays.
is.
No, don't worry about it. I'll
Just
show
for the
you.
gays? Great.
I'll show you some.
I like how, nope, never mind. Never mind.
Remember I told you there's a porn star that I think looks like you?
Yeah, I do remember
I'm
that.
referencing him. Branch Boys, for those of you in the know.
Why are we shout? Okay, great. Well, you know what? If we could shout out the Toronto International Film Festival, because we can also shout out porn.
100%. And like for the Jana fans, if they need an outlet, I'm sharing what my outlet has been.
What? Oh God. Okay. I'm sure this poor performer is doing very well on his own. It does not need.
Yeah, I think he's doing very well, actually. So it's interesting you started talking about your auditioning days, because I wanted to talk today about like our career changes. We've known each other. How long did we decide? 17 years?
17 years.
So we've seen each other through a lot of changes.
Yeah.
You know that I recently have made the move to corporate America.
Yeah.
Which is a big change for me. And so just to give, listeners, viewers background, I went to college to be an actor. I realized very quickly that I was not great. I was good. I was like a good actor. I think I'd be better now. But I was like, I wasn't great. And it didn't help. My college roommate was Andrew Reynolds.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah. And like, he was as good as he is now then. Like, that guy has been a star since the day he was born.
Yeah.
There wasn't truthfully anything he needed to learn at college, and he dropped out early and because he didn't need to be there.
Yeah.
And he, so I would look at him and be like, well, I am not that. I will never be that. And then I found directing, and I realized that actually did make sense, and that I'd always been kind of directing. I directed my show choir when I was in high school. I kind of would like direct the school musical. I would take over and restage the scenes. When I was a kid, I would direct like plays in our garage of the neighborhood kids. Like it was my personality.
Yeah.
And even as an actor, I had trouble focusing just on what I was doing. I was always worried about the story and what everybody else was doing, which is like death for an actor. Part of the reason I wasn't great. So I was a theater director for a long time. As you know, that's when we met for almost 20 years. I ran a theater company in New York City. I had plenty of artistic success, but not really financial success. And when I was like in my late 30s, as you know, I started to get nervous about retiring and money and like what was I doing with my life and how was I going to retire someday? And I had a lot of heartbreak with directing. Lots of projects that I would work on for a long time and help develop, and then they would move on and replace me with a bigger name director. Yeah. A couple of times where projects I worked on with friends, the friends screwed me over. Really, really heartbreaking. And I just kind of had my fill with it and needed to say goodbye, which was a really hard decision. And I think what I learned about myself at that time was how much I was tying my self-identity and self-worth really to my career as a director. And so when I abandoned it, I suddenly like didn't know who I was anymore. Yeah. And also like my life changed so much. Like so many people that were in my life disappeared when I could no longer get people jobs. People
that fucking sucks, man.
Yeah, it does suck. I mean, the real ones stayed, but and it was hard to like, and so then I worked in TV and film for a couple of years, as you know, and that was really fun and interesting and
but not exactly directing, right? I mean, it was like it was artistic, but it was
I was working in development for a production company. I did some post-production supervision, but the TV business is really not doing well right now, and so the company I was working for just kind of pulled back, and I was let go. And so I've made the move into corporate America because Daddy needs to make some money. Unless the podcast is going to start.
Let's get them sponsors. Let's get them sponsors.
So I just want to hear, like, because I know you've gone through, and I want to hear your changes. Like you've gone through similar career changes.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the same things. I mean, me, it was more that, very, very similar. The external circumstances were that I had kids. I had small kids that we needed more money. We needed more stability. And I spent a long time, like years. My son's 6. So really it's like, and when he was born, I was performing off Broadway in a partially improvised musical, and I loved it. And I kind of thought like, I might springboard into exactly what I want to be doing. I was booking roles on TV, but they're like small roles on TV, but they were on TV.
You were in the Marvel universe, the MCU.
I'm in the Marvel universe. I was in the Marvel universe, so like it felt
like you could come back.
I could still come back. Yeah. I was holding on to that kind of, I guess what you're saying too. Like there was plenty of heartbreak. There were plenty of things that like got close to happening, and then like I filmed a pretty fun role in the movie Ocean's 8 that got cut before it was released. You know, the whole plot I was a part of got cut. There was a few things like that you just go, okay, you take that on the chin, you keep moving. It's part of the business. And then the show off Broadway had like a horrible closing. Like it was like immediate closing. And I don't want to talk too much shit right here and right now, but it was just handled horribly, and the show crashed. And there were some great people involved in that who also got hurt along that way, and that was really a bummer. And then COVID happened, and so then we were shut down for a while. And then we came back from that. It was like this was the second time for me. So in 2008, I was on my way. I wasn't doing great as a musical theater performer. I think that was right before I realized I was never going to match the singers that were making it on Broadway. But I was working. And then 2008, the housing market crashes. New York kind of crashes for a bit. Broadway takes a big hit, and then everyone tears back a job, like tears back a level, right? So then now I'm competing in 2009. I'm competing with people who have tons of Broadway credit for regional shows, and like I'm not going to book that. So grind it out another way, start doing some other things. Fast forward to 2020, same thing happens. The whole industry shuts down. We get back into work in, whenever 21. And the same thing, I'm competing with guys. I'm in rooms with guys that I like watching on TV. And I'm like, well, shit, man. Like, I'm not going to book this against these guys. These are guys who I work all the time. But my mindset is let's grind this out. This is the gig. Is grind it out. And then there was the strike, and then there was just so many things working against the business of performing that when it came down to it, I said, I'm going to step away. I want to step away. I don't want to do some kind of like half and half, try to find a job while also still auditioning full time. I'm going to step away. I'm going to semi-retire. And I felt good about that. And I kind of felt good because like you were saying, the identity that gets attached to it. So much of I spent so much of my time in therapy working on separating my sense of worth and my inner value from the work that I do. But it's so hard, like as a performer and as an artist, like there's so much of you attached to that. Mm-hmm. And so at first I said, this is actually way more healthy for me. When I step back, I got a job. I got a job. My brother-in-law offered me a job, and I'm more than happy to benefit from nepotism. And so I was like, yes, let's do this. I'm going to learn a new field. It felt like, great, I can do this job. I can do this job well. I can work hard at it. I can succeed. And also I don't have to have my identity tied to it. But it took me, I don't know, man. I was not as self-aware of all the time I spent in therapy and all the ways in which I feel like I'm proud of being self-aware and doing work. One of the things that like snuck up on me was how hard that was for me that I was not paying attention to. Like it was a few months into not being an actor at all. And it was kind of like, it didn't even feel like that much changed because I wasn't working that much. I'd book a gig every now and then for a few days, maybe a week on a TV show. Like it wasn't that much I was doing. But when I stepped away, really, the part of the energy and the force and the inertia that had been behind me was that my identity is that I'm a grinded out, hardworking actor in New York. Even when I'm not performing, I am working to be an actor in New York, because if I stop, then that means I failed. Like I didn't retire at the top. I didn't get to a point where I was like, I have enough money. I've done this enough. I'm going to step back. I had to step back because I had to acknowledge I'm not making money doing this. I'm not succeeding financially at this. And I could not separate that from the idea of like, well, now I'm just like being outwardly like a failure. And it was like, it took me a while to realize I was in a pretty low point a couple of years ago at this point. But I was in a pretty low point, feeling, I don't know, maybe not ashamed, but like embarrassed by having to step away. And like, I could never speak about myself with like confidence. And so in the workforce, I was like brand new to this stuff. So people who've been in the industry for their entire careers, I'm the new guy and I don't know shit. And then I'm also not an actor anymore. So I'm like, well, who am I? I'm a kind of stay-at-home dad. I don't, like, it was just hard. That was a really hard part for me was and it's still like, it's not like I even changed the facts of that. I just had to reframe and become okay with like, Well, I did it for my family. Like I don't know.
I mean, I think it's a normal human and specifically I can say for us male feeling like you want to feel like you're providing and it does feel good to like go into work and do a good job and come home with a paycheck. Like that feels good. There's nothing wrong with that feeling good. And there's nothing wrong with feeling good about your work and that your work, if your work is part of what your value and what you bring to this world. I think that is, I'm not trying to say that that's a bad thing, but for me, it was like, how tied my self-worth was to my work so that when my work changed, I really felt terrible about myself.
Yeah. It's weird too, to feel like unmoored at middle age. Like, and I guess that happens. That's probably what midlife crises are a lot, but it's weird to feel totally unmoored and like, what do I hold on to? How do I identify now? It's tough. It's a really hard place to be.
Yeah. I know you're going to give me shit, but I'm going to bring up Burning Man again.
Look, man, at this point you're averaging like once every 4 episodes. So do it. I'm impressed.
Okay. That's good. That's a good
I'm saying that's good. Yeah.
I mean, you know this story already, but I went to my first burn as a reaction to quitting directing. That's how lost I felt and how sad I felt. Like I was extraordinarily sad when I decided to stop directing.
And also, just to interject for a moment, you were extraordinarily good at it. So it was a loss for you and for the industry. Like that has to be tough to move away from. And I think you had a bit of an understanding that you were that good. I think you could look at it and see, I don't know how much you felt it, but I think you could look at it and see when you got to do it, it was good.
Yeah.
People knew it was good.
I felt like I was good at it too. Thank you. I appreciate that though. I mean, I still dream about it. I miss rehearsal. I miss being in the room. I don't miss pursuing it. I hate the business itself. I'm glad to be out of that, especially with COVID. I think theater is struggling right now, but, I was so sad that I recognized that I needed to do something to get myself out of my funk. So I decided to go to Burning Man last minute, which is something I'd always wanted to do. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I figured it all out in 2 months, which if you've ever gone is a crazy amount of time to spend, to only spend figuring it out. And I went with this like intention that I was going to go and I was going to have this big revelation about what I should do next, that the burn was going to tell me what to do. And that's not what happened at all. I went and I came back with this renewed fire for people and meeting other people and remembering how much I loved people and sort of like a hunger for like, I mean, it's going to sound so cheesy, but like, chasing love. I can't believe I just said that. But like, and I mean like for like, I wasn't ready for a real relationship until I went to the first burn and I came back ready. It took me a couple of years to figure it out, how to have one and how to find the right person. But I was ready for it in a way I hadn't been before. But I was also like hungry to meet and fall in love with new friends. And I sort of made a decision because I realized when I came back, like I was still unmoored, as you say. I still didn't know what I was going to do with the rest of my life, but I was like flying high on like wanting to be a part of the world again.
Yeah.
And I sort of like made a decision to like tie my self-worth into how much love I could find in my life and how many friends I could fill it with from all different groups. And I think I've been successful with that.
Yeah.
And so
you exhaust me with the number of friends that you make and that you have and that you hold on to. It's exhausting. I've got one. I've got 3. You're one of them.
Who are the other 2?
It doesn't matter. If I say 2, anyone else is going to get offended. So,
but I do think like part of what the issue that's happening in our country right now is like, we talk about young men and the male loneliness epidemic. We talked about it last week. And I think that there are young men in their 20s, especially, that are struggling with how to get started in the world and how to find meaningful work. And so as much as I just went on this diatribe about how we shouldn't tie our self-worth to work, it is a part of who we are. And like, I think we, like, as a country, we need to help figure out, I don't know what the answers are, but like, I think part of the problem and part of the anger coming from young men is they feel unmoored. And They don't have enough gay friends.
That's the main thing.
That's the main thing.
They're not going to therapy or making gay friends. That's what they got to start with those two. I got that order backwards. Sorry, get gay friends, then go to therapy.
That's right.
But
that's right. Please
then get a job. Right. That's those are the three things you got to do after whatever school you decide to finish.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, what's the secret sauce? How do?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't even know where to begin with that. I just know for me, it feels. It's funny how quickly I then pivoted, and I don't know. I guess one of the things I always want to make sure I'm clear about in here, because I love talking about therapy. I love feeling. I mean, I brag about going to therapy. I'm very passionate about self-improvement. I feel like, to me, weekly therapy is like going to the gym. I don't do it when something goes wrong and I need a fix. I don't think of therapy as a doctor. I think of therapy as the gym, so I can continue working. But that leaves blind spots, like just like it would if I weren't. Like, it's very easy for me to 3 or 4 months later realize, like, oh, I've been in a funk because of this thing I have not been looking at all. Because I was like kind of resting on my laurels, thinking like I've got some of this stuff figured out, and then like, oh, fucking no, I don't. Like I am not at all acknowledging or giving respect to the gap inside of me, the void when I change careers and I do not have my self-worth anymore. And even like a negative side, even like when it's feeling like I'm getting beat down all the time in the industry, that was at least something. I was strong and I was gritty and I, had tenacity and I could fortitude, and I was doing it. And then I had to deal with myself and admit it was hard to reframe to like, it's pivoting, it's not failing. And it's still hard for me to think about that. It's more like I have to just accept that I failed, and that's okay. Like I'm not gonna succeed at everything I do. It's just like, that's a really hard thing for me to still deal with, is, to what extent is that? And I think we've talked about it before, maybe the first episode, like social media, my platform on social media came along at exactly that same time. It's like a weird, the universe has a weird way of keeping that drug flowing through your veins. I just felt like maybe I could separate myself from performance. And then it was like, well, here's 10,000 followers and here's 50 and here's 100, like I was like, well, fucking hey, man. Yeah. And that was another one I thought I had a good grasp on, because I'm late enough to the party for social media that I've seen what it does. I know what it is. I know how it can go wrong. So I was like, okay, I got a good grasp on this. I've got a good eye for this. And yeah, it didn't take long at all for me to accidentally have my dopamine was just injecting into my veins. And when it wasn't, it was like I understand the feeling of addiction from this, because when like my followers would drop, I felt I got depressed. Or like when I would have, or I started trying to get just sponsors and hawking stuff and whatever, and making some money that way. And then like when that wouldn't do well, I again had tied my identity and my self-worth to that. Yeah. And so instead of it just being like, in my mind, I was saying like, cool, I've got the mindset for it. It's just a job now. I'm good with my identity. I'm doing this as a job. And I was just like kidding myself, because months into being like, oh, I'm depressed. And like I brought up seasonal depression a year or two ago in therapy, and Megan said, she was like, and my wife Jen had said this at the same time when I was bringing up seasonal depression. They both said, you've never brought that up before. I'm surprised like you're just now like getting into this. And I do think like sunlight and vitamin D is important, and I don't like the cold as much, but it was also timed out with like dips in my life that I wasn't looking at. I'm looking at it like, oh, it's January, the sun goes down sooner, it's freezing cold outside. But also what I'm not paying attention to is like the things that I have strapped myself to, the ways I'm getting my self-worth are taking a dip right now. And I'm just like ignoring the fact that is also bringing me down.
Yeah, I would love to see you strapped to things.
I really thought, as I said, vitamin D, that's where you were going to get stuck. But I'm glad you waited for strap down.
The social media stuff baffles me. That's the wrong word. I struggle with social media. I mean, first of all, I resisted it for a long, long time. I was like one of the last of my friends to join Facebook, last to join Instagram. And I think this, like every 2 years or so, I disable my Instagram account and I go dark for a couple months because I just like, and I come back a couple months later. They let you do that. It sort of like removes everything, and then if you sign back in, it comes back. And those moments for me are like really healthy, and I always sort of like bemoan when I'm back because I just I struggle with it. It does not always make me feel good.
Yeah.
I struggle with like, I mean, talk about self-worth, but like you know, it's just everybody's filtered versions of themselves, and it's
and you can remember those things all the time. You can have that like intellectually, you can know that, but it does not feel like that. You have to like it's built to be a dopamine rush, and it's built to and parasocial friend of the pod, Scott Galloway, to kind of bite off him and paraphrase, like, it's actually not built for the dopamine hit. It's built for the dopamine depletion.
Yeah.
It's built for the anxiety you feel when you're not getting the rush. So you're back on, you're checking, you're seeing your likes, you're seeing what's going on, you're seeing, and so like, it's really the need, the addiction that is how it is so successful.
Yeah.
And
I'm
it's like
trying to really limit the number of times a day I let myself sit and scroll, because it's just that's just like the worst feeling in the world. Yeah. And like the worst is when you know you're doing it and you want to stop and you just keep going, like one more scroll, one more scroll.
Yeah.
Like, what are we all doing?
Yeah.
It's
crazy. Like it's such a powerful drug, because I think maybe some of this is the same for you. Like, smoked for a time in my life, and then when I quit. Yeah. And I, have experimented. There are things that I do that I am able to say to myself, oh, I don't have an addictive personality. I'm not an addictive type of person. And then I can see the steps. If I zoom out, I'm like, oh, these are the steps of addiction. I am in addiction right now. I am addicted to social media. I'm addicted to this feeling. And I don't want to be. Yeah. And, when it's like, having a platform, it's like, all right, I want to put up videos. It was funny, the shift that came, but it made it actually so much worse. And it takes so much more work to control now and to have a grasp on. Like, before, yes, I had an addiction to it, and I also, like, in the performance industry, entertainment industry, everyone's like, you got to have a platform. Like, I would not get auditions because I didn't have a large enough platform, So I'm like always like throwing shit at the wall, seeing if I can get bits to work, seeing if I can get something to go viral, whatever,
Remember
like,
when I had more followers than you?
Yeah, that was a cute minute. Yeah. But that, like, the time I spent on there was usually looking at other people, looking at what's going on, and then I blew up a little bit, and then it switched. Then I thought, like, one of the reasons it got me and kind of tricked me is I thought, I'm not stuck on the part where I need to see what other people are doing. I'm doing my own thing, but I'm doing my own thing. And then the moment I post a reel, I'm checking every 2 minutes to see how it's doing. And I'm clocking the trajectory of all of it. And I was able to put it in a way for me that it was like, this is not me. This is my performance. I'm an artist. I want to put my art out there, and I'm interested in how my art is doing in the world. I'm interested in how my work is being received, and I have that unfettered information coming. I can check exactly how it's doing in the world. And it was easy enough to lie to myself for long enough that I was not equating my value to exactly that.
I struggle with it with the clips that we put out for this, and I know we need to. I know that's how we gain. And I don't get me wrong. I take immense joy when I see people comment, and when there's supportive comments and fun comments. We haven't really gotten any negative yet. I'm sure they'll come, but the first couple weeks of us putting out the podcast, I was like, well, it was like icky. I was like, I don't know. I can't look. I have to look. I can't. So now. And I apologize for this because I know you do so much of the heavy lifting, putting out the clips. But I sometimes now, when we release the episode on Thursday, I actually have to like sort of stay away from my phone for about a day, because I otherwise I like go too down that rabbit hole. Yeah. And so I found it's healthier for me to like put out the episode and let it go for a day, take a day off, and then the next day I start to check in again.
Take a day, go out in the world on Friday, service a couple of fans, and then check back in.
I don't know what you're implying that I did with this fan.
No, you're absolutely right. Like that, it's the same cycle that I was going through in perform as trying to be an actor. It's like it's just the two of us doing all the legwork for all of this.
Yeah.
So I keep thinking like, well, I just have to do all this until maybe we get a manager, maybe we get a producer, maybe somebody takes care of that stuff. And so I don't have to be the one checking in all the time for it. But right now, I'm the one checking all the time, and it's so hard to not be the like. I put it up, and then I go and check on it.
If you're a Jonah fan out there and you're a producer,
yeah,
let us know.
Yeah, let us know.
Let us know. You know what it's time for?
I do.
Who would you fight? Who would you fight? Pow pow. Who would you fight this week?
All right, excuse me very much. Sorry about that. I would fight. This is. I know you called me up before, so I'm gonna preface this a little bit. This is not a repeat from the vault. This is a bit of a repeat, but I've got more specifics on it now, and I will explain why. I would like to fight Chris LeMontagne, the CEO of Spring, Teespring, the t-shirt company that still owes me $3,500 for $3,000 to $4,000. And the reason I know that I've said I want to fight Spring before, but that was more of an ambiguous whoever out there is doing it. And now I know who it is that is in charge of not paying your artists, and it's Chris LeMontagne. And I would like to. I understand that CEOs might be in a weird position right now, and I'm not trying to be distasteful. What I would like to do is invite Chris LeMontagne to a charity boxing match for exactly the amount of money he owes me. And, we'll go from there. But that's who I'd like to fight this week, is the CEO, not just the general company, but the CEO of Spring.
Let's get him.
Who would you like to fight?
Down. I would like to fight, and I don't know how people are going to react to this one, but this has just bothered me for a long time. People that record fireworks on their phone, people that record concerts on their phone, people that record DJs on their phone. I do not understand what people are doing. First of all, fireworks. Let's start there.
Fireworks are the funniest. That's the funniest to see someone post a video.
In the history of the human universe has gone back months later and been like, let me watch those fireworks from July 4th, 2008.
It doesn't translate, people. Just understand it doesn't translate.
It's like taking a photo of the moon. It's not going to look the same. Also, fireworks literally look the same every time.
Yeah. Unless here's when you can post fireworks. If you were at the 4th of July show in San Diego a handful of years ago, or no, when every single firework, when they had a malfunction and every single firework went off at the same time.
Right. But I guess in that situation, you'd have to be recording fireworks.
You'd already be recording fireworks, so you're already kind of a shitbag.
It's just like I just want people to be in the moment. We have one shot at this fucking time on this planet. If you are recording a concert, if you're going to see a DJ and you're literally holding up your phone to record a DJ while you're at the show, you're doing life wrong. I got news for you. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Although I will say this, sometimes, and it'll be with you sometimes, we'll be at shows and there'll be like a great DJ on and everyone will have their phone up and we'll be far enough back that I can't really see. So I'm like, cool, I'm going to watch this phone, this really high def phone that's zoomed in right now.
It's a sea of phones. And I'm sorry, do people go home and months later, they're like, let me pull up 30 seconds of that
Let me tell you what
set?
you did not do. You did not get a better production value than the camera crew that's filming this event. Like
No. Also, if you're doing it to post it on Instagram, I'm sorry, that's a little douchey because there's no one on Instagram that's going to be like, oh, you went to see this DJ? Let me watch 30 seconds of the DJ.
Right.
I didn't go see. It just makes you look like a douche.
It's
go to the DJ, live your life, be with your friends, take a picture of you and your friends at the DJ, post that.
There was somebody had an article recently, and I don't know who, but they said that the opening that line was about exactly this, and it was like, you know how it was to their past self. It was like to their 1980s self saying, you know how when you go to someone for Christmas and you have to sit down and watch all of that bullshit, that's what you're going to do with all of your free time now. That's
where we've gone.
That's what it is now.
Yeah, it's a quote in a New York Times article recently. Yeah,
that's what it was. The Times. Yeah. And I always think of David Sedaris too. I'm going to bite this and misquote it too. But he was seeing the Mona Lisa and everyone had their phones out, and he said like people changed it from being an experience to just being proof.
Yeah.
Cool. You were there.
Yeah. Proof for the internet.
For the strangers. Yeah,
for the strangers on the internet. It's just like, just live your life. Be in the moment, man. We got one shot.
Yeah. And then like a couple times a week, take an hour to record a podcast with your best friends and put that out there for a bunch of strangers to listen to. That's all you got to do.
That's it. All right. That's it for tonight. You want to read us out?
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm so nervous. All right, I can do it.
You got it.
Thanks, man. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to like and subscribe to No Homo with Jonathan and Tom on all podcast platforms and YouTube. Graphics and music by Matt Ladner. The opinions expressed on this podcast are solely those of the hosts and are intended for entertainment purposes only.
Boom! You did it!
Ooh. Oh, it feels so good.
Show me your cross. Shows your cross.
Where's the craw? I forgot how we do it. Oh, yeah.
Woof.
Oh.
Woof.
Oh, it feels good. My craw feels good.
Woof, bro. Love you.
All right, love you.